Well, Stevie Nicol, the January transfer window is over. So why don't we look ahead already to the summer transfer window? There were a lot of players that were speculated to potentially. No, why not? There were a lot of players potentially linked with clubs in January that didn't move, who might be on the move in the summer. Let's go through a few of them and see if you think they will indeed be swapping clubs this summer when the transfer window reopens. Have to start with Jude Bellingham. Don't think many expected him to go in January, even though there was a lot of speculation. Do you think he'll be on his way in the summer?
I'd have to think so. You know, it seems like we've been talking about Jude Bellingham leaving since the first kick of the season this year. So I would suggest he probably will. I think for Dortmund, now would be the best time to get the maximum amount of money for him, because that has to be part of it as well. You know, Dortmund are not going to just turn around and go, no, we're keeping this guy. He's got another 2.5 years on his contract. We'll wait till the last minute because we want to still have him in our team. I think in the summer he absolutely will be. He will be the player that everybody wants. You know, every summer there's one. I think this summer's he's going to be that man. He's going to be the one that everybody pretty much knows will be available if you can come up with the money. So yeah, I would be really surprised if Jude Bellingham doesn't go in the summer. The question is, where does he go? Obviously, I would like him to go to Liverpool, but you know, Real Madrid, Barcelona, you know, these teams who seemingly, particularly Barcelona, who seemingly have no money to give anybody, produce things from nowhere, out the hat, shall we say. So where's he going? I have no idea. I really don't think anybody is favourite right now. He certainly hasn't tipped his hand. He's pretty much keeping his mouth quiet, which is a smart thing. And Dortmund, again, also are not saying an awful lot, but I would be surprised if he doesn't go.
I know you've spoken a lot, Stevie, about Liverpool trying to get a midfielder. You'd love to see him there. Is it a prerequisite, do you think, if Jude Bellingham is to move on, that he's only going to sign for a team in the Champions League next season?
Yeah, yeah. Players of his ability, want to be playing at the highest level. And if you're not in the Champions League, that is absolutely a mark against you. And it's one thing to say, well, whether it's Liverpool or Chelsea or anybody else, it's one thing to say, well, they're a big team, they'll be back. That's not something you want to rely on as a player, you know. You want to be going somewhere where you know they're going to be competing for the biggest and the best prizes. And if your team's not in the Champions League, then I would suggest that Bellingham or any other top class player is going to look elsewhere probably.
Youri Tielemans is out of contract in the summer, Stevie. Have you got a team in mind that you think would A, love him, but B, would fit perfectly for them?
That's a tough one. Tielemans is a good player, but is he going into Man City's team? I'm not so sure. Would he fit in with Liverpool? I'm not. Does he get around the park? You know, Liverpool at their best had three midfielders who got the ball and gave it to the front three because they closed it down and they harried people. I'm not so sure Tielemans does that. So does he fit in at Liverpool? Does he fit in at United? I'm not so sure. Does he take the place of Casemiro? No, I don't think so. If Eriksen and Fernandes are both fit, does he play ahead of them? I don't think so. You know, I'm kind of wondering, as far as the top teams are concerned, where he goes and if he goes to any of those. And right now, I'm not so sure unless he's happy enough to take a secondary role and go somewhere and pretty much be told you're going to have to fight your way into this first team. If he's prepared to do that, then maybe he'll end up with one of the bigger sides. But other than that, I'm not so sure that he doesn't go to a, shall we call them, second tier team, a team that's trying to get into the Champions League, somewhere along those lines. I'm not so sold on him. I think no question. Had there been had there been such a race for him, he would have gone in this window. So I don't know where he goes, but I don't think he goes to the big boys if he wants to play.
Romelu Lukaku heads back to Chelsea in the summer after his loan spell. What are they going to do with him?
Again, he's for me going to be in the same sort of boat as Tielemans. I don't think any of the top teams, the teams that will be vying to win the Champions League, shall we say, or the Premier League, none of these sides are going to be interested in him. Again, I think you're looking at an AC Milan or an Inter Milan right now. And again, with the wages he's on, maybe that's something they might not want either. So again, a bit like Tielemans, I'm not sure any of the big boys take him. Again, he might end up with where he was, 4 or 5 years ago with an Everton, and being the big fish in a little pond, shall we say. So I think, again, that's what's going to happen with Lukaku.
Harry Kane, is it simple as to say if Spurs end up playing Champions League football next season, then he's staying no matter what? Or with interest reported from Man United and Bayern, could this be the summer that Harry Kane finally moves on? What do you think?
Well, history would tell you that he's going nowhere. History would tell you that he wants to be at Spurs and he wants to win at Spurs. History would also tell you that if he wants to win at Spurs, the chances of that are pretty slim. So it really depends. I almost said it depends on Harry Kane himself, but it probably doesn't. It depends on Spurs. He's under contract. If Spurs want to keep him another year, they can. And if you're the board at Spurs and you let Harry Kane go, you better duck, because the fans aren't going to be happy. This is a real tough one to predict. It depends on the board, and it also depends on Harry. If Harry wants to go and win trophies, then he'll do everything he can to get out. But as I said, history would suggest that Harry's easily persuaded to stay at Spurs.
I'm going to throw, before we get to the last one, I'm going to throw a hypothetical grenade in here. If Chelsea, instead of going to Benfica and given 121 million for Enzo Fernandez, had gone to Spurs with the same offer for Harry Kane to solve their number 9 striking position, what do you think would have happened?
Nothing. He ain't going to Chelsea.
For no money?
He ain't going to Chelsea. Not happening.
Let's end with Chelsea and N'Golo Kante out of contract in the summer. Might not be the player that he was, still a talent. What do you reckon happens to him?
Highest bidder. Highest bidder gets him. Yes, he's had some injury problems, but I don't think, if I'm a coach of the best team on the planet and he's available, I want to sign him. There are certain things that you take a chance on in football, and this is one of them. You know exactly what you're getting when he's fit. You know you're getting a player. You know you're getting a gentleman. You know you're getting an experienced winner. He's the whole package. He's the nicest guy in the world. He's fantastic in the dressing room. I mean, you're getting everything. But the question is the fitness side of it. But it's worth the gamble. If I'm Madrid or City or Liverpool or Barcelona or Bayern or any of the so-called big guys, if this guy's on a free, I'm signing him.
The January transfer window might have closed, but it's never too early to talk about the summer transfer window at ESPN.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.